Nano trying to make it 3-0. Eagles would love to get a goal here, stop the avalanche here, but Adrift seems to be on fire right now, making all of the plays we see in the activity feed for the Barracudas. But as Nano gets demoed, Eagles are going to try to buy themselves some times to get a clear here. We'll see if Wilds can do it.
For the Barracudas, we just saw Adrift get 2 goals in a row and another shot on goal shortly thereafter. But the team has been focusing on team play over the individual play, making sure they have solid boosts throughout the game. So let's see if they can start working together to maintain this lead and getting a few more goals in. As Nano's shot on goal gets turned away by LTF. Ball still on the side of the Eagles there. Thrift looking for a clear. It'll be disrupted by a Drift. Shot on goal will be turned away before it even gets in the goal box. A slight overcommit for the Barracudas. Goal scoring opportunity for the Eagles off the back wall, dunking it down off the ceiling, but it'll be popped high and far by Flea. Thrift returning the volley. And it looks like, yes, a Drift will be able to get in there and save it.
Drift to elevate up, gets a tap on it to pass it over to Wild. Pushes it back to midfield. Unfortunately for the Eagles, there's no one in midfield to pick that up, so Nano is going to get the clear they were looking for. Unfortunately, kind of a weird bounce means the Drift is now going to be able to corral it, though. This is the setup for Flea, but goes flying past it. Nano with the follow-up off the backboard, trying to dunk it in, isn't able to. The Barracudas maintain a lead at 2-0, but the Eagles can still make something happen.
Got Wilds trying to play it around 1, can't quite find it. Thrift, though, gets a nice centering shot, hits the side of the goal. Thrift will go down, being taken out by a Drift shot. Unfortunately, from LTF, will not find a touch on it. They just overcorrected for a touch on that one. Thrift back up, will do a back pass. Unfortunately, no one finds it. Nano gets in there, gets a shot in, saved by LTF.
Just a little over 2 minutes left as Thrift is unable to find the clear, and unfortunately the Barracudas might get the opening they were wanted. It just heads off the crossbar off a Nano shot on goal. So the Eagles are going to be happy to just kind of accept that and just try to clean up or pick up the pieces before things get too ugly here. Make it at least a 1-goal game here. I know they can do it, it's just they're really struggling right now.
Thrift does a shot on goal, cheeks it, gets it a little too far to one side though to center it up for themselves, rotating back, stealing some boost. Wilds gets the give and go. Shot on goal, spiked down at the crossbar. Not saved by any of the Barracudas players, but it does find its way out of that goal box. Another shot on goal by LTF, unfortunately, with enough of a pinch off by one of the Barracudas will send it to one side. Shot on goal turned away by a Drift. Clean out, bring it up the side, looking to center it up to a Drift, dunking it down to them, but one of the Eagles players got there first.
Ooh, sees his opening, it just bounces off the front post. Oh, the Eagles have had so many chances where they've tried to get a goal. They're basically tied with the Barracudas in shots on goal. It's just evaded them. Another one that just bounces off the crossbar. It's just been so painfully close for the Eagles, but they can't find their goals.
We are at the 45-second mark. Barracudas up by 2. They just need to play keep away for the next 40 seconds and get clean rotations, get in the passing lanes, and stop any more goals from going in. And with that, it does look like a Drift will find their hat trick. Side note, they do have TikTok in their name, so you can check them out on TikTok at Adrift, possibly Adrift Lemming, and as well as Twitch for _Rocket League if you want to watch any of these players in their downtime practicing. And if you're one of the Esports Tower players, you can possibly scout how they like to play by checking out their social medias.
Already making me feel a lot older by bringing up TikTok right now.
Hey, I'm older than you.
It's something that my millennial mind just can't, I just can't wrap my head around it. It's for the younger generation, and I fully accept that. Right now, something that's going to appeal to anybody would just be getting a goal right now, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. You were saying that all the Eagles the Barracudas had to do was play keep away. They did better than that, getting a goal for themselves. That is a nice shot from way downtown. Although that's one that I think was just more meant as a clear and just happily kind of ended up as a goal. It's kind of a little bit of salt in the wound that after we had all those attempts at the goal, the one goal we do get was one we just kind of meant to clear off in the general direction.
We are now at that 8-second mark. Even if the Eagles find a buzzer beater here, they'll be down by 1 nonetheless. That is why that security goal is always nice. and still Barracudas don't need an extra one if the ball touches the ground, and it will. Barracudas walk away with a Game 3 victory. They still need to win 2 more in order to walk away with the win here. Eagles need to win 3 more in this best-of-7 series to come out on top. A Herculean task indeed for either team, as these teams are so well matched. It does look like LFT, though, had to be playing a little bit less than they normally are, as we've got no badges on the board for them. Not something we typically see. Hopefully in the next game we'll see more.
It just shows how good the Barracudas had it on defense. I just think they were so close. The Eagles, as you saw by the stats, had more shots on goal there overall. It's just, they were just that close, and it bounced off the crossbar so many times and off the left and right post so many times. Just one of those cases where it was accurate, but just not quite accurate enough. And the Eagles are really going to have to, will they be a team that can kind of clear that out of their minds, just reset everything, and go back to playing good Rocket League, because you can't let close moments like that tilt you too much.
In the past, one of the Rocket League Esports tower players in the form, I believe it was KJ, went to couples counseling with that crossbar. Perhaps the Eagles need to do the same and work that relationship out so it starts working in their favor. We do have Plea going for a clear that's going to be turned away by Thrift. Nano tries to crowd off the wall, but Thrift will snag it off the drop on the ground. It gets the Thrift shots get saved by Plea. Crossing the midfield all the way into the corner, Drift has it in the air. Wilds will elevate to turn it away. That shot on goal credited, but saved by Wilds in the same second.
Drift with the pass over to LFT, just finds it a little wide of the goal. Follow up again, just off the backboard. There goes what they were looking for after all this time. They finally get the goal.
All right, I'm calling it now. Hashtag CodeFact. Eagles are going to win this one, bringing us to a best-of-3 series. I bet.
You know, I think that prediction is actually very good, because it's been one team, then the other team, then one team, then the other team.
We'll see how it goes. Our vocal cords will be very sad, but I'm sure these teams will be happy as Adrift takes out Thrift. Plea now in the corner, plays it out of that corner, shot on goal. Adrift comes in, scoring goal number 1 for the Barracudas, tied 1 aside, 4 minutes, 3 seconds left on the clock.
That's just a nice little bit of disruption onto LFT there. Kind of delaying his save there enough for it to be tied up 1-1. We still got 4 minutes left. We could be in it for the long haul here. Whoa, whoa, well, okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay, Thrift, if you want to play that way.
All right. 3 minutes, 54 seconds on the clock. Eagles up by 1. Can they maintain this lead? They need to get a security goal to make sure that they are in a nice position. Even if the Barracudas score 1 more, it's easy to return that favor and get another, and they'll maintain a 2-goal lead. They have to stay in that nice position in order for this to be easier on the mental front, because this is going to be a long series, and the more anxious you get, the more energy you're exhausting. Thrift gets in the passing lane there, snagging it away. Wilds will take out Nano, opening up the goal. Wilds will find the connecting pass and bring the Eagles goal scores up to 3. Barracudas now down by 2.
That's really impressive, especially considering Wild basically had no boost there, so was still able to make the play and be in the right position for the follow-up. That is a huge goal. It can't be understated how important getting a 2-goal lead in a match such as this is.
There's still 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, though. Plenty of time for the Barracudas to find another goal for themselves, which means the Eagles need to do another as well. We'll see if 4 goals get put on that board. Thrift has the ball. No one's in front of them. Easy goal for themselves. Hat trick for Thrift. Up by 3. Yeah, I think the Koba fact is going to stand true here. Right now, Thrift, look at all those badges. 2 more and it's off the screen. Thrift, you might spend a lot of time on the respawn screen either from here on out or in the next game.
Kickoff slightly in favor of the Eagles. And shot by what? Well, okay then. Yeah, I think that prediction that the Eagles are going to win this is probably looking pretty good right now. They've been insane off of these kickoffs. Wilds getting a nice shot there, nice snipe.
I'll be honest with you, Jem. When you're down by 4, yes, there's still 3 minutes on the clock, a little over, in fact. About a little less than a minute per goal here if the Barracudas want to pull this one back. But at this point, it might be smarter just to take this as an opportunity to let the Eagles gas themselves, so to speak, and come back into the next game looking to win if you're a Barracudas fan. Right now, there's a shot on goal from Drift, saved by a Drift, sent to the side where Wilds will grab it off the wall. Going for some great aerial play, dragging it down, but Nano gets in there, stopping the shot on goal and getting a save accredited to themselves. Shot on goal from LFT, though, for the Eagles will bring their score up to 6.
That was really enabled by all of that great passing by Wilds, that great air dribbling, leaving it open for LFT.
All right, going into this next 50-50, it's going to be Wilds and Nano going in for the I can't English anymore. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Barracudas did not get the better of that kickoff. Still now, they're going to be able to pull it away and bring it onto the side of the Eagles. Wilds looking to carry it past a couple. It is going to be redirected by one of the Barracudas players, but there's no follow-up right away. The clear might come out, but Thrift it does. LFT goes down to a Drift Lemming. Nano now has to play it around Thrift. Thrift trying to get in that passing lane. Nano sees a Drift Lemming. Unfortunately for them, LFT grabs the ball, spiking it high. Klee comes in to corral it here on the side of the wall. Has one Wilds pushing up onto them. Wilds will push it away. The Drift comes in to play it off the wall to center it up for themselves, but Wilds gets the ball off the wall, and it gets popped high by Nano.
A little bit of a tap there, back near the Eagles' goal. Thrift is going to get control of this, try to ground it. Unable to play it around Nano, though. Follow up there, try to get a follow-up there by the Barracudas, but the save was too fast by the Eagles. Thrift picking up another save. Nano can only really look on, pick up some boost, whereas Lee is able to kind of steal it away from the Eagles there. At least they stopped at midfield, but that's a very crucial hit there, right back toward the Barracudas' goal. Is LFT going to try to score yet another goal? Doesn't look like it. Lee takes it away from him. Thrift to meet it back and get another clear, and oh no, don't tell me. They found a way.
And that's a hat trick for Wilds as well. And now if all three members are looking for a hat trick, I think it's just LFT who needs to score one more for a hat trick.
Yeah, basically you've got a hat trick for everybody except LFT, so the Eagles, if they're looking kind of for a fun goal, try to set it up so you can get the hat trick trifecta, if you will. And LFT doesn't really look like he's going to be in a position where he can score a goal right now. Ooh.
Nice save there by LFT.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled that off, but he certainly did. Too fast for my eyes.
54 seconds left for LFT to find their hat trick. They're trying to play it off the wall to themselves. They've centered it up, shot on goal, too wide. There's no follow-up touch from a teammate, allowing Klee to get a slight clear. It's going to be turned away by Wilds. Nano going for another clear. The elevation comes out from 2, but neither one can grab it. Wilds, though, snags it off the ground. Sees LFT, does not send it to them, so Klee gets the easy save. Shot on goal from Thrift, turned away by a Drift. Shot off the sidewall to center it up for a teammate from Klee. Gets grabbed by LFT. LFT will pop it up over 2. Can't play it around Nano and a Drift Lemming, though, as they get pressure put on them. They have to find help in the form of Wilds. A Drift can get it over Wilds, but they can't get it around Thrift.
Oh, but I missed the shot there. Oh, that's a painful whiff, and they're going to keep that from going to an 8-1, but still, in terms of any games, Brazil is going to put a dent in your pride.
And with that, you can see shots on goal were dominated by the Eagles. Boost and side control pretty gosh darn equal, though, so we'll have to see if that story changes here in the next couple of games. This is still a best of 7 right now. We are tied 2 aside, and with that, we are moving into the best of 3 territory.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nerdy, is that I think I can make a pretty easy prediction based on a pattern that we're seeing.
Oh, no.
And I think the pattern is the Barracudas are going to be the team that just does nothing but score this next game. Because it seems like both of these teams can't really they can't develop a streak. They win one game and then everything just kind of exits and goes to the other team. And then the other team ties it up. And that's why we're already at game 5 here with both teams tied 2-2.
Rest in peace, my vocal cords. It's not like I have to speak any other time in my life anyway, because who's going to listen? It's all right. We're going to head into our next game 5 of this best of 7 series. Let's see if Jem is right and the Barracudas come out on top of this one, or if the Eagles will finally start a streak here and walk away with a game 3 victory, putting themselves at match point. A Drift goes for a shot on goal. The crossbar will save it, though, that 4th man being very powerful for both teams. Follow-up shot from Flea, unfortunately too far to one side to even get accredited to them. Actually, none of those shots got accredited. Thrift goes in for the shot on goal, gonna be turned away by Nano before it even gets close to that goal box.
Lee with the tap, now with the pass over to Nano. Perfect redirect, almost gets the goal there. The Thrift with the last minute save, keeping it tied 0-0. Another shot there and a whiff there actually from the Barracuda is going to make it a little awkward for them to keep side control right now. Wilds is going to demo Flea, but Flea kind of standing firm and resolute just through the demo was able to deflect it and keep the Barracudas with a bit of side control. Now they're going to lose it and they're going to look for their clear. Nano trying to play it around LFT, who's going to get possession of it. Center it up and Nano misses. Thrift with the shot on goal, just off the crossbar. And the Eagles now having their old problems with the crossbar, creeping back up in game number 5.
Centering shot there from a drift. Unfortunately, Nano had a few of the Eagles members in between them and the ball, so they couldn't get a touch on it. Wilds now dunking it down to send it to their teammate LFT. LFT and Wilds working together will find the first goal of this round. Now possibly looking like the Eagles, if the trend continues, will walk away with this Game 3 victory and their first streak going into the next game. Let's see if that comes to fruition, though. Eagles up by 1, 3 minutes, 44 seconds still left on the clock.
The Eagles might be able to stop the trend we've been seeing all night here. I certainly wouldn't be complaining if they found a way to do that. Ooh, but Barracuda's gonna have to play a bit of defense. Been an awkward spot there. That ball right in front of their goal. Lee with a nice shot way back toward the goal. Wild's gonna elevate up, get a tap on it, and be credited with the save. Question is, though, can the Barracudas get a shot on goal that they can turn in? That's a follow-up they were looking for, but it's saved by Thrift. Of course it is.
Got the ball dunked down in front of the goal. Unfortunately, Nano couldn't get a touch on it. Wilds, though, will send it back over towards the Barracudas' goal. Plea off the wall will get moved around quite a bit, so they lose out on their aerial dribble. Finally hitting that cross, the midfield stripe. The drift can get it around LFT. They might be able to. Now Thrift bringing it up, collides with Flea in mid-flight. Wild shot on goal, a little bit too high off that back wall. Follow-up touch from LFT will be a little bit too wide to one side.
Nano especially seems to be, I don't know what's going on. It seemed like Nano was kind of one of those who could make some of these very big aerial plays, but seems to be a little bit flat-footed this game. I don't know what really is kind of, it's not just Nano, it's everyone on the Barracudas, obviously, because they haven't gotten a goal there, but it seems like something's just evading them in these games. It might just be that fatigue that kind of sets in when you have these best of sevens, and especially, you know, like I said, losing that last game in the Brazil with 7-1, that's going to put a dent into anyone's pride. So the Barracudas really still looking like they're trying to recover.
Right now, Drift has 2 on them, sending the ball to Nano. Does hit the shot in on goal. Drift gets the save. Please shot on goal gets turned away by LFT. Nano finally going in for a shot as well. Takes out Wilds in the process. Looks like an opportunity, but Nano gets turned away. And the shot on goal from Please saved by that 4th man. The crossbar follow-up shot from Nano. Will they make it in? LFT comes in at the last second to save it.
There it finally is.
And finally, Flea finds a shot, and now we're tied 1 aside.
Yeah, LFT can't turn around in time. Thrift not able to rotate in. They basically had to go through everything the Eagles had to offer. And basically, I got to say, if there's one player you want to take out on the Eagles right now, if you're the Barracudas, it's Thrift. He's been getting so many saves right now. He is just the keystone in the defense for the Eagles. You need to bump him out of the way or demo, because you've had plenty of shots on goal, Barracudas, but he's been the one to get in the way so many times.
Well, if you know how your Roman architecture works, a keystone piece, once it's taken out, everything will crumble. So, according to Gem's logic, take Thrift out of the game for even a couple of seconds and you'll open up an opportunity for yourselves. 1 minute left on the clock, basically a 0-0 game. No offense, guys, but 1 aside is 0-0. It's equal, might as well be. Anybody's game at this point. No one's sitting pretty with a security goal. Both teams looking to get one and hopefully another in the next 45 seconds.
So technically, the prediction I made at the beginning of this game could still come true. We could still see the Barracudas win and continue the pattern we've seen all night.
I told you! I wanted the Coma factor ring true again, because please, guys, my vocal cords.
The fun is just never going to end tonight. It just keeps going and going and going.
Oh, okay. All right, Barracudas, I see you. I know you want me to eat my words. Well, I'm eating them. It's okay. Got Plea now playing it off the wall in the corner pocket. Unfortunately, none of their team will be able to help them out. In mid-flight, ball off the back wall. Going to not be able to be retouched by another one of the Eagles players. A double demolition from Thrift and LFT will take out two of the Barracudas for a few moments, but the ball has crossed that midfield stripe. LFT looking to send it back over. Adrift grabs it off the ground, though. Thrift returning the volley. Has to play it around all three members of the Barracudas, who are up by 1 right now. 8 seconds left on the clock. 6 seconds to keep away, then dunk it on the ground. Do not try to go for another style on the Eagles and get an extra goal. Yes, ground it like that. Barracudas up by 1. Now, next game leads us.
It just flips every single game.
No matter what.
It's a mirror image.
No matter what, next game leads us into match point. Barracudas currently up by 1 as far as the series goes. Eagles are down by 1. It's 2-3. Actually, no, never mind. I give up.
It is still technically 3-2.
Barracudas are at match point. Eagles looking to bring themselves at match point. Well, let's see how it goes. My brain is starting to break. I'm sorry, everyone who's watching right now.
And your eyes aren't lying to you if you notice a decrease in the crow population in Boise, Idaho, since there's plenty of crow being eaten by both of us tonight. It is just both these teams, we can't predict it for one team or the other, because every time someone gets a lead, the other team answers back. So, Eagles, it's all you this game. Go ahead.
Nano has possession in the corner. See, they center it up, but they can't have any of their teammates get to that ball first. Now Drift goes for the return pass on their own side of the field to send it to Plea. Plea elevates, dunks it off the ceiling. It will be at LFT's tires, though. Thrift is centered up for a shot from LFT. Off the back wall, though, before any of the Eagles can touch it, it does get touched by a Drift. A Drift now backing away to allow Plea to come in. Plea in mid-flight gets the ball stolen away by Thrift. Nano backing up towards the back post as Wilds gets taken out by a Drift.
Right now, no real shots on goal being exchanged by each team. This Plea is now, that's a nice demo. I was saying take Thrift out of the game, so Barracuda's definitely applying that. Unfortunately, the other two team members are great players in their own right. While Thrift was respawning, they were able to clear it out. Now Thrift fresh off the respawn trying to make something happen. And there was a save by Wilds. It is back to that, kind of defensive play that we were used to in those first couple of games. Looks like it's coming back in Game 6.
Barracudas right now are looking to get this victory for them. They are at match point. Eagles looking to put themselves at match point with this game if they can come out on top of the victory. If the Barracudas get a victory, we'll see the first streak in this series, and they'll also walk away with the win. However, with the way this has been going, I have no doubt that the Eagles will walk away with a victory. We'll have to wait and see, though, because both these teams like to make me eat my words.
I'm just waiting at this time. I'm like, Eagles, it's what? Okay, Barracudas.
All right,
this is the one thing I want to be wrong on here. Barracudas break the pattern and score the goals. And you can see once Thrift, he's the key. Once he's out of the picture, the goal's wide open.
All right, please, Koba, let your facts ring true for this game.
Here we go. LFT is going to try to drive it around the corner, looking for a clear to get the Eagles back tight. He demos Thrift at the goal. That's exactly what I want to see. Barracuda's making such an effort to close it out here.
The Eagles are not going to give up easily, though. Thrift has not had a lot of demolitions this game. They have Nano. They see the opportunity. They're getting, though the disruption play from the Barracudas is quite strong. The Eagles are not going to give up. They're down by 1. There's over half of this series left. There's plenty of time for them to bring this one back in their favor. They have to shut down Bleedo on this forward dribble.
That dribble!
Oh, and we'll see in this replay, but it kind of looked like that might have been an own goal. I think had that Eagles player not been there anyway, it would have been carried in by Blee. Yeah.
I mean, Wilds was already rotated up in front of that ball, so there really wasn't an opportunity for him to clear it out. He at least made the attempt. I wouldn't count that as an old goal. I would think he just already committed to the save and was just giving a last-ditch attempt, and it was already kind of unsavable.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen those happen plenty of times. You go for the save, and had that goalkeeper not been there, the ball would have gone in anyway. That's how you got to look at it. So LFT, nice attempt. We're not going to count it against you, but now you have to make up for it. I know you can get a goal for your own side, so let's see you do it here in the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Barracudas look like they're on their way to break the pattern right now. And it seems the threshold has been a 3-goal lead that kind of guarantees it, but
Wild!
well, wild. See, okay. Let's just see what happens here.
2 minutes, 10 seconds. Barracuda's only up by 1. That means even a buzzer beater could send us into overtime. Barracuda's looking for an extra goal here. Eagles looking to score one themselves and at least tie us up. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, plenty of time to do that. Nano chips the first goal 50-50, gets it to Plea. Plea off the back wall, has a follow-up touch from a drift. Is it going to be enough? It's not. Plea with the tertiary touch, not enough either. It gets cleared, played around Nano. Drift comes in, grabbing that back boost. And now playing it into the midfield. Wilds will elevate, dunking the ball down in front of the net. But unfortunately for them, Plea was there before any of their teammates were, and the ball does get cleared to the midfield.
Lee, that's kind of a great setup, but Thrift, of course, being the star defender, he is able to push it back over to the corner. Keep the Eagles from being scored on. It might be the final nail in the coffin here that the Barracudas can find if they manage to get a goal. Thrift with the demo right into a drift is going to make the Barracudas' job a lot harder. Now a drift is respawned. We'll see where he comes into play right now. He's ready, sees the setup, but the shot is just a little bit to the left. Right now, I like this from the Barracudas. Just keep this side control. Don't allow any scoring opportunities from the Eagles, and you've got the victory.
Got Plea now trying to dribble the ball in through mid-flight. Does drop it and lose their dribble. Wild sent it to Thrift. Shot on goal, gonna drop right in.
No!
Overcommit for the Barracudas. They're Achilles heel for both sides. Eagles and Barracudas very guilty of overcommitting on these shots on goal. All three of them caught too far forward. Thrift capitalizing on it as Thrift does, finding goal number 2.
You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that.
Well, Thrift just told you I live to break the rules. And the 50-50 goes in favor of the Eagles. Wilds going after it in the corner. Can't beat Nano to that ball. Thrift in mid-flight, snags it. LFT looking to center it up for a teammate, but that leaves the goal open. Saved at the last minute by Wilds. I have no idea how that worked out, but it did. Thrift redirecting the volley. Nano going for another shot. It's going to bounce off the ceiling. Now dropping down in front of LFT. Drift Lemon goes for the shot. High at the crossbar. Saved by Thrift at the last minute. Please centering it up for a teammate, but unfortunately it'll go too wide of the goal. 20 seconds left. Tied to a side. I anticipate an overtime.
Most likely here. Boy, the Eagles do not want to be counted out right now unless we can see a buzzer beater at the very end from the Barracudas to win everything. But, of course, Thrift is right there with the clear save. What else is new? He's been there to save every crucial shot on goal that's been tried to be scored onto the Eagles. And now we head into overtime because, of course, we are.
All right, last overtime was 33 seconds. Under or over a minute?
For my sanity, it better be under.
All right, I'm going to say over. And I'm very sorry if that's just how I think it's going to shake out.
I just have to see right now. Trying to play it off the wall to get their clear, but that might be an opening for them. Indeed it is. They're trying to make the play. Barracudas center it up. Thrift with the shot back to midfield. A tap by Flea. Back toward the goal, but LFT is going to be credited with the save. Follow-up by Nano, just a little bit to the left. He tries the ball up again. He isn't able to get it, though.
All right, now Plea still has possession, has a drift going through the rotate back to his back post. Nano has rotated back too, so that means they're going for a full reset. Nano shot on goal, turned away by Thrift. Thrift will collide with Wilds, though, so you could see the exhaustion starting to get to these players. The breakdown in communications is beginning to happen. Nano trying to grab it off the wall, doesn't get a touch on it, but Wilds does a beautiful flick, manages to get it in the air. Plea waiting on the ground on the side of the Barracudas, goes through the clear, gets it to the midfield with a little help from Nano. It's going to be cleared down to the side of the Eagles in the corner.
Thrift with the pass over to Wilds, going to try to center it.
Minute and 18 seconds. And we are tied 3 aside, both teams at match points. My vocal cords are crying.
Well, I'm sure you've heard the saying, Nerdy, that there's nothing certain in life except death and taxes, and I think a new
I
certainty
hate
has
that
to be
saying.
answer to that. With these two teams, the series is never going to end. If we didn't cap this at 7 games, if this could have been a best of 21 for all I cared, and they would have gone all 21 games because the pattern holds. It never goes one team can get more than 1 win in a row.
I'm very thankful that this isn't like Valorant, who takes after the tennis rule of you have to win by 2.
No juices here, please. No.
Yes,
no, that's not even fun. Don't even joke about that, okay? Don't put that in my mind. I'm done, okay?
All right, well, you've heard it from Jem. We are at match point. No matter what, someone has to walk away with a victory here. Are we going to see it overtime? I say yes, because this is definitely going to be every team well-oiled, all cylinders firing, absolute machines going into this next one. I think we're going to see a low-scoring game, though, because now this comes down to we cannot make any possible mistakes.
And don't you dare try to pull traditional soccer rules out on us, saying, oh, it can technically end in a tie. No. We are going to have a winner here no matter what happens. I will go into a 10-minute overtime if need be. It has to end here. Who's going to win the Octane Cup? We're going to find out now.
Shot on goal from Wilds, turned away from Nano. This is definitely a lot more clean than we saw earlier. We're not seeing a lot of double commits, but Thrift, shot on goal. Wilds taking out Plea in mid-flight. Now, opportunity here. Ball is at the midfield. Plea plays it around 1. Wilds off the back wall, will send it to the side. A drift kite's coming in, takes out Wilds in the process. Nano elevating off that back wall on the Barracuda's back third. LFT looking to center it up. It will get turned away. Thrift is pushed too far forward, and it might drop in. It won't with the tertiary touch. It's going to come through from a drift and find the first goal of this game.
Crossbar can only save you so many times, and Thrift already in mid-air can't commit to the save, and that leaves it open. It took 3 follow-up shots on goal back-to-back, but the Barracudas managed to find it.
50-50 actually got the better touch from the Eagles, but Nano with the chip manages to find its way over towards the goal on the Eagles' back third. Nano now rotating back, putting pressure on Thrift. Shot by the Barracudas a little bit too close to the goal there on their side. Thankfully does not go in. Now ball in the corner. We see a demolition on Wilds from Nano opening the field. Another demolition. A drift goes down to Thrift. Both of them now finally respawn. A Drift Lemming comes in, does get a touch on it. Plea collides with Thrift. It's at the midfield, sent to the corner by the Barracudas on their own back third to allow Nano to play it off the wall. But Wilds comes in, stealing that ball away from them. Ball still on the Barracudas back third, and finds its way into the goal.
And of course, it's Thrift. He's the one who can change from defense to offense on a dime. That's a great setup by Wild. Great communication between the two. Textbook teamwork goal. It looks like Eagles are going to start things off with another shot on goal, trying to get back in the lead. It works out for them. How about that?
A little bit of fun fact here. So Nano from the Barracudas and Thrift from the Eagles have been doing a lot of one-on-ones against each other.
Oh, I see.
Just so Thrift can help Nano out with some of those mechanical aspects of Rocket League when it comes to playing in the Esports Tower. I wonder if that's going to help out who will come out to victory when there's some great team camaraderie between these two happening. Right now, though, it's Drift trying to look like they're going to secure a victory, but we're now tied to a side. 3 minutes, 9 seconds left on the clock. Back to 0-0. Anybody's game. Who is more exhausted ultimately is going to be the deciding factor here.
I don't know if it's a thing of good sportsmanship, the fact that those two have been doing one-on-one. At this point, it could just mean that it's personal. Like, both of these two have a score to settle. They want to prove who's better right now.
All right, well, I think it's camaraderie. Jem thinks it's a score to settle, and there's possibly, you know, a vendetta in progress here. We'll have to see. A Drift tries to carry the ball in, gets taken out by Wilds. At this point, at the rate this game is going, you cannot get multiple touches on that ball. You need to get the ball, go for the give, the go, and rotate. No hanging on to it, no triple touches, double touches at the most, or you're going to be stuck on the respawn screen.
Back in midfield, Thrift is going to take it away from the Barracudas, push it toward the goal, and a save there. Unfortunately for the Barracudas, that was a double commit for that save. Could leave their goal open. Right now, it's lucky for them that shot was wide. That gives them the opportunity to clear back across the midfield marker. Look at Wilds, though, making the play. Nano with the clutch save, keeping it 2-2.
Nano's shot on goal goes too far to the side to even be counted towards them. Thrift is there to corral it. And LFT will save the shot from Flea. Now redirecting all the way to the back third of the Barracuda side of the field. Thrift gets a shot in. Tertiary touch Wild will be saved by Flea. Now back on the other side of the field. Eagles looking to be defensive and get a clear here. Ball goes to Flea, but Flea rotates back, allowing Nano to come in. Ball still in the back third on the side of the Eagles. Thrift looking for a clear.
Well, Eagles going to try to make something happen. Trying to do the follow-up there. It looks like Thrift unfortunately whipped on that one. Leaves it wide open for Nano. Thrift again, though, with the follow-up and a save, of course, by Adrift. We're going to go into a minute and a half. Both teams still tied.
Nano going out to this ball in the corner, passing it to Thrift. Shot on goal from Nano will be saved by Thrift. Thrift takes out Flea in the process. LFT going for the clear, can't quite find it. Adrift goes down to Thrift. Wild gets a save off Drift's shot. Another save. And finally, Flea, even though LFT tried to back up and stop that from going in, finds goal number 3 for the Barracudas.
Okay, look, it heads under, then over, then over again. It was a zigzag between every single member of the Eagles.
Shout out to Wilds, though. They have been popping off this game. Thrift in the last round had the badges going off. Wilds is looking to do that themselves, as is Flea. Thrift is not far behind either. Nano, too. So Barracuda's firing on all cylinders. LFT hurting a little bit. Needs to start making some plays for themselves. Gets a shot on goal. Unfortunately, a little too wide to be counted for, so they have been getting shots in, just not once the game is dubbed worthy, but we shall. So we know they're putting in work. Under 1 minute left on the clock, 42 seconds. Barracuda's up by 1, looking for a security goal because both these teams are capable of the buzzer beater. And if we hit the point where it could happen, Barracuda's looking to just ground that ball once that clock hits 0.
Half a minute left, and the Barracudas have a 1-goal lead. One final opportunity for a hero play by the Eagles to drive it to an overtime, which why wouldn't it go to an overtime at this point?
Right now, Wilds has brought their badges off the board. Congratulations, Wilds. You are a top badge earner this evening. 7 seconds left on the clock. Flea carrying the ball in. Barracuda's now up by 2. No, security goal in their hands. 5 seconds left. That means the Eagles would not only have to score off the kickoff here, but they would then have to score another one with almost no time left on the clock. That's a task that I dub impossible for this one. 5 seconds left. Going into the kickoff, the 50-50 in favor of Wild. No time on the clock. Eagles up by down by 2. Barracudas will walk away with this game victory.
Well, you know what that means, though? That means the pattern held true. Back and forth between each team. And the Barracudas, it was just they were due to win. And we had to end it here for the best of 7. So Barracudas win that 4-3, and probably one of the closest matches I've ever seen.
Congratulations, Barracudas. That was very hard fought. Congratulations, Eagles, for pulling it that far into a best-of-7 series, taking us all the way. Hopefully next week you guys can go the distance and come out with the victory in your pocket instead. Well, if you want an opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to industry insiders like pro athletes and team general managers and game producers, and you need to join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights with their featured rumbles. Recruiters are taking notice of these events as well, especially with these best-of-7 games, I'm telling you. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. All right, I know we're both kind of crying internally right now, but we do still have one more task. It's not nearly as hard as casting one of these matches or as taxing as it is on those players, but we get to dub one of them the ICCU player of the game. Do you have any recommendations, Jem?
Thrift.
See, I knew you were going to say that.
I can't think of a player that was more influential in both being someone who could score goals and just get so many saves as Thrift did.
I have an advantage because I was here for the very first best-of-7 that dragged out all the way to 7-game series. So I can give an alternate. I actually write down players over here on the whiteboard desk that we have. Thrift is on there because I figured you were going to say Thrift, but I'm actually going to go for Enzo. After all, you and I only get to make suggestions. At the end of the day, it's going to be production and Doc that get the final word on this one. It'll be up to the production staff to figure out who is the ICCU player of the game. Let's see if either Jem or I were correct or if we're both very wrong, which at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if we were wrong. It's been quite the trend this evening.
Well, we just have to see who was chosen. You know, after all that gameplay, they better have a player of the game.
I would hope so as well. And it does look like it is Enzo.
Wow.
Yes! The ICCU player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes the team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping players achieve financial success. Enzo is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Congratulations, Enzo.
And unfortunately, this was the one match that I wasn't able to join you for, so I can't give too much commentary on this, but overall, I am seeing some great play there, and you see some great coordination also with the demo there from Comet. So it's that great team play. We're able to coordinate the demos with the disruption, and that's just a beautifully placed shot. No wonder Enzo gets it.
There were times where Enzo came out of nowhere, like they weren't even in the line of sight on our camera, and just from the high ropes would jump into the goal and just dunk the ball in. It was absolutely incredible. Even Doc was caught off guard more than once. Before we wrap this up, Jim, do you have any big takeaways from tonight?
I think we've just seen the textbook example of what happens when you can place the two toughest teams against each other. The games go long. Sometimes it's a 0-0 tie heading into overtime, but congratulations to the Barracudas finding the tenacity to still stay competitive all the way through and pulling out the victory in the end.
Yes, and congratulations to all of our Cup winners tonight. Our Week 3 Rumble featured several new teams, all of whom had strong performances and can build on tonight going forward. Once again, the Eagles claim That is not correct. The Barracudas walk away with the top spot in our Octane Cup championships, reclaiming their title. Let's see if the Eagles will be able to dethrone them next week. That was an epic 7-game series. And can someone break through the Octane Cup next week? Will the Eagles be able to take down the Barracudas finally? We'll have to wait and see. Join us next week at 6 p.m. to find out. And as we close out, we'll walk away with this one with the top 5 plays of the game presented by Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering $20,000 in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there.
Four minutes left. We could be in it for the long haul here. Whoa, whoa, well, okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay, Thrift, if you want to play that way.
All right. 3 minutes, 54 seconds on the clock. Eagles up by 1. Can they maintain this lead? White does drop it and lose their dribble. Wild sends it to Thrift. Shot on goal, got a drop right in.
No!
Overcommit for the Barracudas. They're Achilles heel for both sides. Eagles and Barracudas very guilty of overcommitting on these shots on goal. All 3 of them caught too far forward. Thrift capitalizing on it. The key to the game that we haven't discussed in a long time, but it is something that can play out in spades. As we see a cross-match shot, and the backboard saves of Green playing their own follow-up finds goal number 1 for Team Everest.
Jahubi with it. No, there's our real Jababy right there with a nice pass. Gets it in there. Very, very nice assist.
The tee-up is there, but the tertiary touch is a little late from DJ. They need another one. DJ's there for it.
Who
and
did
they're shot from Enzo.
Enzo, you called it perfectly. They're getting the position in there, high off the glass. A retouch, one more. Who's there? Nobody on the Everest. They're on the wrong side of that line.
Dropping it down right on Jababy in the goal, though.
Enzo with the follow, but unable to make contact again. Comet, nice air dribble. My goodness.
That was beautiful.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna make the highlight reel. Just touch, touch, and a little style spin at the end there. That was 100% Comet.